Welcome once again to Vlog. I am your host. Today, I'm going to talk about the first 3 episodes of Game of Thrones House of Dragon. Game of Thrones House of Dragon is a prequel series to Game of Thrones that takes place 200 years before the events of the aforementioned series. House of Dragon is based on parts of the novel Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, which tells the history of House Targaryen. House of Dragon is both a prequel and a spin-off. They reuse many of the same sets and locations, along with an all-new cast to help lower costs. That's not to say it's bad, but it is what it is. House of Dragons returns viewers back to the world of Westeros. So, as a fan, it was nice to be back, even though these new characters aren't nearly as interesting as the old ones. Although, to be fair, we're only 3 episodes in, so that's subject to change. It has some shocking moments, some gratuitous violence, talks of betrayal, arranged marriages, and dragons. All to remind you that you're in the world of Game of Thrones. We even get to set up to the potential big bad, the crab walkers, the crab feeders, who may or may not be the show's stand-in for the White Walkers. Although this is a family drama with dragons. The family is the central conflict, so any potential big bads are probably just there to stir family drama. Before I get to the characters, I am probably going to mispronounce people's names, so I'll do my best. Hopefully I'll get better at this as the series goes on. The new King Viserys, kinda sucks. The actor does a fine job, but he's weak and he's literally rotting away. Since he sucks, he'll probably live a long time, although his costume kinda sucks too, so maybe we'll get lucky as seeing how lazy they were to work on his design. He's close to his daughter, but his new relationships are likely to cause a major rift within his family as his supporters want him to have a son. His daughter, Princess Raya, is a new fun character that takes after some of the other young female characters in the franchise. She's strong, smart, and fearless. She also has her own dragon. Princess Raya House is an heir to the Iron Throne, which seems like it will be the central conflict in the series. As a woman, the men in the world are unlikely to accept her as their queen. It'll be interesting to see what kind of character she becomes. Matt Smith, is having a morbid time as Prince Daemon. All kidding aside, he's probably my favorite character so far, so obviously he's probably going to be the first to die. Prince Daemon loves his brother, but others have done a good job at tearing the relationship apart. Sir Otto Hightower is the new hand of the king, and a bit of a creeper who tries to set up his young teenage daughter with an older man to raise his standing with the king. In many ways, I see him as the show's central villain at this point. His daughter, Lady Alicent, is a sweet girl and Rhea's best friend. She's a pretty likable character, but she lacks confidence and does what her father tells her to do regardless of the situation. Lord Corlys is an interesting character. He has to work hard for everything, but he's a bit of a creep. He tries to get his young daughter to marry an old guy. His daughter in question is 12. His wife, the queen who never was, kind of sucks too, but she knows the world she lives in. The first 3 episodes do a fairly good job at introducing the characters and reintroducing audiences to the world of Westeros. A bit of a concern that I have is that with their use of time skips. We're only a couple episodes in, so they're likely to settle in at some point. With the 3rd episode, we have another time skip. We're transported a few years later when the king finally gets a son. With the 3rd episode, we finally start to really see what the show is all about. It's about the characters. The family drama with dragons description is quite appropriate, and I'm actually starting to really like it as a standalone series. Instead of persistent threat of winter in the Game of Thrones, House of Dragon is more about the relationships between the characters and the family dynamic. There may be more dragons, but the show is more grounded in its smaller central cast. I'm kind of glad that I held off writing a review until the end of episode 3, although in all honesty, it was because I just didn't have the time. House of Dragon is accessible for people who have never seen Game of Thrones and welcoming for people who love the original series. House of Dragon has lots of dragons, but the focus is on the family. I still think Game of Thrones may be the better show, but House of Dragons has a lot of heart with some brilliant performances. It's still early, but House of Dragons is starting to come into its own. I'm really interested to see where they go from here. I want to thank you for watching my review, and I hope you have a wonderful day.